Welcome back to the LEC studio, host of the play-in stage. It is game 4, and DAMWON have the match point. An expected part of this series, you'd have to admit, from everyone, but it came a little bit later than we otherwise would have thought. And so Lowkey Esports, they are still in this one, but is there any cheese left in their pantry?
Well, the thing that's left is Ornn, because that's the ban that DAMWON has had to drop, moving back to the red side since they wanted to ban Pantheon. If we do want to see another lane swap from Lowkey, which it's a tall order. I can understand why they wouldn't want to go back to it, since that's the type of thing that, you know, Coach Kim from DAMWON could just kind of drill with them afterwards, after they lose game 1. But yeah, I think after what's happened in games 2 and 3, I think Lowkey should go back to it.
Well, the Lee Sin going to be locked in here by DAMWON, and the expected lock-in afterwards would be something like the Xayah. Xayah has been banned throughout this entire series.
Yep.
We've seen this so many times. When you're on the red side, it's all about getting those color-coordinated picks alongside the Lee Sin. See whether the Rakan pick away is going to be there from the Lowkey Esports, but otherwise, DAMWON will be locking that one away last.
Yeah, I could see Rakan being an important takeaway. Also, having the lane against Rakan.
Ezreal Rakan.
It's actually not bad if they wanted to go for it.
Okay, we're going. No. We're going Yasuo Gragas. And I love this because Ezreal has been flexed into the mid lane quite a lot. If we've been having a look at Solo Cube, you've been watching FLICKR's stream. He's been playing so much mid lane Ezreal. So in theory, Artifact could be on that one. So still not entirely sure where everything is going. But we are sure that ShowMaker has locked away Akali. They just don't care about the Rakan. They want to make sure that ShowMaker has comfort.
Yeah, and it also means that we'll likely see BeryL on something like Alistar again.
Yeah.
Rather than the Rakan, assuming Lowkey actually decides to ban out that strong combo, and a bit of a support pinch, the Braum ban. Actually really interesting. Why I think they might do that is Ezreal Braum is an incredibly strong level 1 invade, which could potentially allow Lowkey to set up something creative. And I can kind of see just DAMWON trying to cover any possible area of disadvantage.
See whether Thresh is the next thing that DAMWON looks at. Another knockback displacement that Lowkey could utilize, but the Pike is where we're going to see that. Does also have similar situation there, as now DAMWON do have the Alistar available. Nautilus was what Lowkey decided to go for. And Yuumi is what we've seen in the past, and the Xayah Yuumi works out really well. The cat goes inside the Xayah, and then Xayah goes untargetable, and that's 2 people that are untargetable.
I hope they do Nidalee.
In that Feather Storm is, okay, DNK gonna take the Nidalee, and there's Aatrox locked in as well. This is really short range, but I love it because you've got all of that, all those dive tools, all of those knockups, and Ezreal with all of the self-peel as Nuguri thinking about a favorite of his. This would be another one, but we're cycling through and we'll see where DAMWON land when it comes to their top laner.
Well, Kennen is the more known good pick into Aatrox, so they're going to do that.
Yep. I like it. That was really well done, Jed.
It's funny, Alice. I feel like if this was game 1, they would have locked the kill.
Yeah, I think so
feel like
too.
the mindset of DAMWON has changed in either trying picks out or proving that they can pick something to, no, we actually just must beat them now because we don't want to be embarrassed.
The thing I really like, though, is that Yuumi Kennen is such a cool combo at the same time. Like, you get all the adaptive damage, but also extra movement speed to get the little rat into the back line. Yeah. Super cool. There's a lot of cool stuff about picking Kennen here in this composition.
They're both small.
That's true, yeah.
First Nidalee picker ban, though. And it's something that I expected to come out from a VCS team. I thought if we didn't get it here, we'd end up seeing it from Levi of GAM Esports in the group stage. But it is a pick that had way more popularity in the VCS than pretty much any other competitive region. And I think it could have worked if they wanted to do something lane swappy with it as well, but it still expect a very high tempo game from DNK's Nidalee.
Yeah, we didn't see it in the LCK until the tournament that DAMWON actually promoted it in the World's Qualification Gauntlet run. But it was Kingzone that was playing it. It wasn't any of our Worlds teams here on Korea's side, so we'll see how well they're going to deal with it. But a fun composition to come out from Lowkey, and I feel like we, in the last game, went away from Lowkey's strategy, away from Lowkey's style with a very sort of, in the mid game we can get things done, but mainly we're aiming to scale, things like that. That is not what this team is all about. They're all about scrappy fights early. They can do that with the champions that they have now, so let's do it. Let's get into game 4 of the first best of 5 of the play-ins knockout stage. This is do or die for Lowkey Esports. Another Cull. And another Klepto.
Especially, I'm just thinking like the only way they lose this game is if the Nidalee can set up a camp somewhere and really go at it.
Well, I mean, she did make it into the enemy jungle. Canyon got his ward down and switched over to a sweeper. And they know, she's there. The pings are in. And ShowMaker's now closing through. You can see all of the base gates. This is so dangerous. All of DAMWON are moving. That she hasn't revealed herself just yet. The Prowling Kitty will jump over the wall. But I think you're going to need a few extra pounces than that. Hani is here, gets the first knock up onto Nuguri.
A bag of gold? Nuguri got a bag of gold and a ward out of that? Really?
That is called outplaying your opponent, chat. That's what that is called. That will be nothing else.
That's just wrong.
Well, they didn't kill him. They didn't kill him. So DNK is able to slink out of there, but is unable to start on the opponent's red buff. And Artifact lands his first knock-up with the Tornado. Remember that ShowMaker was happy to take the Akali into this matchup?
Yep. Even the threat of a Gragas Yasuo, right? So even the threat of a devastating mid-jungle synergy gank.
Yeah.
Instead, the gank is actually less threatening unless Venus decides to roam up.
Venus, of course, formerly a jungler, actually.
True.
A few years ago. So could theoretically get that mindset back again. Prowling Projectile, meaning that Celebrity's taking a lot of damage here down on the bottom side. Seen Ezreal Gragas do a lot of good things, actually. This combo does need to hit all of their skill shots to be able to hit max damage, though. Feels like Nuclear and BeryL just land a Prowling Projectile, and then Nuclear walks at them and has zoomies for the extra sustain. Frustrating laning combo.
Yeah, there was definitely a time earlier on with Yuumi where a lot of pro players would complain that it's kind of unwinnable if you're against the Yuumi, but I feel like there's been a number of nerfs towards that champ that it's much lower presence, at least early on.
Yep.
Haven't seen the true Garen Yuumi Masters yet to see if that's no longer a viable combo.
Well, we have seen a Garen Yuumi, and hopefully we never see that again.
Well, the weird thing, Atlas, is that with how dominant it looked in the LEC, it also felt to me like Nuclear and BeryL just had basically never played it before.
It felt a little bit like watching some of the Sonicomps come out at MSI.
Yeah. So I think there still is something to it, and I think we'll see more of it, but you actually do have to think about what you're doing as the steal comes in for DNK.
Yeah, that was the steal. So blue buff goes over for DNK. Both of these champions with execute damage, but DNK just executing better. Now Nuclear may be in trouble. The barrel comes down, gets a lot of value there as the Aftershock does go off, but Venus had tanked up just enough while it was active. Really good trade there as the Infernal Chains pull Nuguri back. Wow, Hani. I think if he had have continued after that, could have been a possible kill, but Flash still available for Nuguri. He's going to go back to base now. Still 77 on that Cull.
Yeah, but is also 300 gold ahead of Hani's Aatrox. So taking as much use of Kleptomancy as he can. And
oh, Canyon. In he comes. DNK is waiting in the wings, but all information is there for DAMWON. Q's landing, but not being taken. As, that spear is going to go slightly wide. Feels like a 2v2 lane. As Canyon gets level 4, catches up to DNK at the moment, as you can see. Behind by a camp and a half is Canyon.
I actually find it interesting how DNK didn't sit around to soak more experience. I think we're going to see a continued fight here over the Rift Herald as well, so I'll get to that point later.
Yep, some isolated 1v1s happening as Qs are being traded across the board. Canyon does get the inside track on DNK, but he's still going to be here. Knockup comes forward, but no level 6 available for Artifact, who now puts up the wind wall. And DAMWON are just a little bit too maneuverable with this combo, so they are only taking the fights that they want.
Yeah, very hard to land skill shots on them. But the thing I was going to point out about Nidalee is a lot of times when I watch Challenger Nidalee games, they just walk into a lane at red buff and just auto-attack a guy a bunch.
Yeah.
And then also take the experience, because it's one of the best ways to slingshot yourself ahead of the other jungler, which you can make the argument will be beneficial later on in the game if you can start solo killing the enemy jungler. But because he didn't soak any of the experience, the fact that we're 5.5 minutes in and Nidalee only has 5 more CS than Lee Sin means DNK is actually fairly slow by Nidalee standards.
Yeah, now he's standing on a ward, so continuing to waste a little bit of time. Whereas Canyon on the top side getting that rubber band camp in the Krugs. So ShowMaker winning trades here in the mid lane also, which is what he just tends to do. This guy's laning Akali is absurd. He just comes out ahead in situations that he just straight up shouldn't. At the moment, he's behind a bit of farm, but he's collecting a minion wave that was delivered to his turret. We'll see how this goes as we crest that level 6, which both of our mid laners have now hit. Also, Ignite's taken for both mid laners also, so we're wanting to go for some Fido. Some Biffo, if you would.
Nuclear is getting pushed in a little bit by the Ezreal Gragas, and really a subdued early game, which I still feel like will favor DAMWON fairly heavily, especially looking up into this top lane. 55 of his call already procced. He's got a 600 gold advantage.
The most money in the game.
Laner. And like, this is why he starts call. This is why he goes Kleptomancy, right? Because this is how he plays, but it's also sometimes feels just so risky.
Oh yeah, when he's up against a top laner that's able to actually punish the fact that he just doesn't have as many battle stats as his opponent.
Might see a dive bottom here, level 6 Yasuo.
Yep, Artifact, they know that he's there, but immediately you've got the exhaust. Venus taken down, the turnaround is beautiful. The first time DAMWON's bottom lane has outplayed as he's going to set up his own knock-up, but Artifact taking the turret shots, the Prowling Projectile is there as well, but BeryL looking to try and get them back. Good knock-up comes out, but no more ultimates available, and that is a 1-for-1 that probably shouldn't have happened for DAMWON.
In a 4v2, so now we have to see what DAMWON does with the rest of it. BeryL tries to get a kill with his ultimate
he just solo ulted Artifact.
He tried.
That's what I like to see. That's brilliant. Teleport back there from Nuclear. No harm, no foul. The teleport was already on cooldown from Celebrity.
Yeah,
two kills. That is just a win for DAMWON.
Yeah, straight up 2 kills in a 2v4 for DAMWON. So just huge advantage since we're already talking about an incredibly scary Kennen getting formed in the top lane.
Mm-hmm. And who's going to be invested to try and get that Kennen to be off that big position as Venus just dies towards the bottom side of the map. And DNK is just given the runaround. Nuclear just walking. Zoomies will be available once again. And Nuclear, even though he doesn't have his flash, it doesn't seem to matter. The rest of the Goon Squad making their way down. On DAMWON's side is Canyon and ShowMaker looking for a potential dive. But this is what happens when it's not a jungle Gragas. You are very squishy without the Aftershock available.
Yeah, Burning Flash at level 4 right here. The reaction time from Nuclear, very key. It's mainly, I actually credit that reaction time to the control ward and the Tri-Brush there, because he wouldn't be as fearful of a body slam if he didn't see Yasuo. So that allows them to turn that kill around. Then also the turret getting locked onto Celebrity and very nearly killing Artifact as well. BeryL ends up hitting 6 and also ulting to get the Yasuo's flash later.
All going pretty well for DAMWON. Probably the best early game that we've seen so far from this team. And this is the match point. This will get them to the group stage in either Group B or Group D. Can't be in the same group as either Griffin or SKT.
Yeah, and oh man. That draw that we're going to have at the end of tomorrow, it just has so much significance.
Oh, yeah. It's who goes in Groups B and Groups D out of this.
Yeah, North American fans need to be paying a lot of attention to that draw.
As Nuguri looking to try and kill Hani as DNK dives on in. He has to land this Q, but he doesn't. Doesn't matter. Dives on in, gets the pounce, easy peasy, dead Kennen. That's the amount of pressure that Nuguri is able to offer. All the flashes in that exchange did get blown, but now Venus is in the mid lane trying to set up for his Yasuo.
Yeah, still not even a level 6 Gragas though, so ShowMaker would have to go really far in. It's not like you can just get Yasuo ult off of Gragas ult. Come at him from the other angle though.
Yep, does go into his Shroud. The 5-point strike is getting some work done. Q's being traded, both of them being missed. E lands there as ShowMaker dives on forward onto Artifact, sets up his own knockup. Q is going to land it. Immediately everyone is eviscerated on LK's side. Oh dear, Nuguri turns up with the teleport, and that was pretty high value.
And this, I think, is the type of game a lot of people imagined. Nice ult there by Nuclear.
Yeah, and ult trades.
When they saw this draw, it was this undefeated DAMWON team from the play-in stage to a Lowkey team that looked very mixed in 2-2ing what was seen as the easiest play-in group, but for so much of this, Lowkey has been making surprise moves, but now DAMWON just seem to be dominating.
They do. And how did Celebrity lose his entire health bar?
Feathers?
I think it was just some feathers.
Projectiles from Yuumi?
Something was happening, and it was bad news for the Ezreal as Shelly went down as well. Canyon just soloing that one out. It feels like DAMWON are able to just grab whichever objective they feel like taking. And DNK can't find the impact. This Nidalee is such feast or famine. If you don't get things done, if you don't get that control, she can feel so useless. So once again, Nuguri's just stealing plates everywhere.
Canyon is just so loyal to Nuguri.
Yeah. He does what he's
gives
told.
Him the Rift Herald, goes up there over and over again. And this series, we're going to watch this fight one more time in the mid lane. Artifact trying to bide his time to get the right ult off, but watch for Canyon's kick. The cooldown is actually up, even though it doesn't show it in the spectator. Oh, that was so beautiful. Kicking through the opponent.
Yep, and then lining them up so that ShowMaker's ult was able to connect the dots there as well. Very nicely done. Knock-up not going to be taken there as Artifact can't see the Akali. I believe put down the Shroud was going to be fine, but
dive bot lane.
Still trying to hold on. Celebrity doing the best that he can. Another plate probably will be taken as there's the Prowling Projectile to show that he's in trouble. Already down to no health at all. And the teleport is far too late. They dealt with the minion wave, but DAMWON dealt with the AD carry within a couple of autos.
Yeah, Nuclear really getting very far ahead this game as well, whereas the Kleptomancy and the friendship from Canyon is helping Nuguri likely still have the most gold in the game. Yep, 300 more than Nuclear.
He's already got 2 items. That's a completed Proto Belt and a completed Morellonomicon. As we see another fight, final chapter is read out to Venus, who does get the help of his friendly Yasuo. The Wind Wall does a lot of work there as Canyon. You know how long that lasts, dude. But that's okay. Throws his Q right into it. As, okay, ShowMaker, that is not where you want to be, but does dive back. Flash utilized.
Yep. That's
He's
fine.
gonna be all right.
And they've taken both side lanes, can group basically whenever they want. 7,000 gold lead. Lowkey really just trying desperately to make something happen, but here comes Lee Sin.
Artifact just going to get kicked back immediately. The backflip comes forward. Canyon closed the gap, and Artifact is just going to die. The rest of Lowkey pull away, knowing that their Yasuo was just not long for the world. And DNK can't just go fishing with spears. They just don't have enough pressure anywhere. And even if these spears land, they don't do enough.
Canyon just styling right there. He actually safeguarded after Sonic Wave, then Resonating Strike, just so he wouldn't be moving in a straight line. He wanted to curve around.
Which a bit of fun.
Really could be an analogy for this whole series for DAMWON. Not wanting to go in the straight victorious line that was set in front of them.
They don't want to be predictable, Jat. That is the main thing. And look, once you're getting towards the main group stage, then maybe being unpredictable is going to be a good thing here for this DAMWON squad.
I mean, they're definitely making it hard for us analysts to make any definitive predictions about them. Because,
true.
Because before Worlds, trying to take everything in, I said, wow, I think DAMWON is really, really good. I think top 4 team at Worlds. I think a dark horse to maybe even win the whole thing.
Yep.
Because in the past few years, we've had more upsets. Oftentimes, the Korean 2 or 3 seed, even in the farther past, have been able to do pretty well. And then they go undefeated in play-in stage, but they have this kind of like lackadaisical early game, and you say, all right, they're warming up. They're warming up after the playing stage. Now this best of 5 will be, hey, like, look out, group stage. Here we come. And
also,
then they go and lose the first game.
Yeah, I know they lose the first game, but then they have the biggest gold lead of the entire play-ins at 15 minutes.
Yeah. And
so in theoretically, they've finally warmed up. And actually, this is even more scary than it was.
But then,
just to add to the confusion.
Yeah, then I'll go and point out and be like, well, Nuguri did teleport away for his team while they were doing Baron. Because that happened in game 3. And he'd be like, and he just kind of randomly dies 3 times a game.
Mm-hmm. 2 times a game, that's the power spike.
True. Yeah, and he's only
died
once.
This may not actually be good, as ShowMaker down towards the bottom side, shoots Hani with his gun, but gets the World Ender out.
Yeah. I think that the only thing that really matters about this series is that DAMWON wins 3 of 5 games. And I don't feel like they were showing everything. I think they actually tried to show things they weren't comfortable with to throw people off their scent come group stage. And I think at least this game is closer to the level that I feel like
Whoa, ShowMaker diving on forward. Stopwatch immediately by Venus, and that means that he's in position so that he's not going to survive. Artifact just... He couldn't justify pressing the last breath button even though the cask went out from the dying Gragas. And Nuguri now, even these Qs are hurting so much. DNK very squishy on the Nidalee, but still, the 2 items on this very accelerated, very rich Kennen are very scary to deal with. True Shot Barrage doesn't require the respect that we see from a lot of our Ezreals. And now over 10,000 gold at 16.5 minutes. We are heading towards perfect game territory minus 2 kills. Jat, it's a perfect game minus 2 kills.
You don't keep stats about 2 hitters in baseball.
No, to be perfectly honest, actually, hear me out.
Okay.
Hear me out. Because we were talking about the 0-2 power spike from Nuguri.
Yeah.
If both of those deaths were on Nuguri, that would be a perfect game, in my opinion.
A perfect DAMWON game.
Perfect DAMWON game.
Yeah.
As Artifact dancing around Nuguri, he does have himself a Yuumi there as well, as the wind wall is now on cooldown. Venus makes his way in. So yeah, that's my defense for my ridiculous line of perfect game.
By the way, this is a callback from the caster room where you're just like, wow, there were, was it 3 kills away from, or it's like, oh, just 2 kills in a turret away from a perfect game.
I mean, it was 2 turrets away from.
Be like, yeah, I'm $1 million away from being a millionaire too, real close.
You guys are too mean to me in the caster room. I'm just trying to come up with fun things to talk about, okay?
True.
Well, Nuclear, he's got a couple of items that are pretty good at this stage of the game. And as far as being as relevant as possible at this tick over to 20 minutes, I love this. Nuclear most of the time is going to build the Infinity Edge after the Essence Reaver for sort of the most bang for your buck out of 2 items, if the first one has to be Essence Reaver.
Yeah, the lethal tempo build has just actually gotten so popular.
Oh yeah.
This year with that specific combo of items. It's so good on Xayah as well.
Well, now Hani's being surrounded. In fact, it feels like everyone is being surrounded. DNK does find that cute spear, but otherwise can't venture into his own jungle. And that is not the life a Nidalee wants. Canyon is down here. Hani down to below half health. Doesn't find too many of the autos, does DAMWON. And Hani is going to be able to limp away, but has to use the ultimate and has to sacrifice his inner turret. And yep, that's the cat picking up a spell there. Does a bit of damage, but then goes untargetable for the rest of forever. So doesn't need to worry. Artifact's flow is taken away, but otherwise he's going to be all right. And this is just DAMWON slowly bleeding Lowkey out. A minute to go on that Baron. We've got a Mountain Drake there, as I feel obligated to say Earth, Wind, and Fire once again.
Oh.
They are going to be the Drakes. And that is a pretty linear gold graph.
And I think it's going to continue that way. I don't feel like this is the one.
I think it's trending in that direction. That is very true. 11,000 gold. Just huge. I think we're heading towards our largest gold lead at 20 minutes as well.
There's a good chance. I mean,
you'd think if it was the largest gold lead at 15 minutes, there's a high likelihood that we get to the highest gold lead at 20 minutes as well. Celebrity's dead, guys.
Whoa.
Real dead, real fast.
Yeah, Canyon able to solo this Mountain Drake, and they'll probably be able to take a 20-minute Baron. And this looks like kind of the the potential and the skill of ShowMaker and Nuguri without all of the dumb stuff in this game.
Well, ShowMaker's diving forward yet again. Final chapter is there, but not enough to get the snare. Rhyme was unintentional. Now just going to go back, and it looks like bullying away from this Baron that has only just spawned and is immediately sent back to the Void.
Yeah, they're ready for this one.
Yeah.
They want to be out of the series. They say, you know, we delayed it 44 minutes in game 1.
Yeah.
Let's try and make up for lost time in game 4. And you can kind of see the DAMWON players didn't look that happy leaving the stage after game 3, after the 2-1.
No.
But I feel like the coaching and the team have really at least brought it back around to more of what we wanted to expect.
Yeah, and also, I mean, talking about the coaches, I mean, I want to have a bit of a rant about Coach Kim, but I'm not going to be able to, as we're going to check out this replay.
I mean, Ezreal dies very fast.
He does, but we do want to see exactly how it happened. He got shot, and then he got hit by a 5-point strike, and then dashed through. He's theoretically hit by 4 abilities, and he was instantly dead. Did you circle some stuff?
I was trying.
I didn't see any circles.
I picked a small circle when I should have picked
Where were the circles? Were they there?
We have question marks as well.
Were they there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's actually the most underutilized part of this screen. Yeah. That's a good TP.
Yeah, teleport coming in from the Kennen. Nuguri just getting into position in the side lane. There's a... What are we looking at? What are we looking at, Jeff?
Power
That's
spikes.
a really cool hat from the Kennen.
They play around.
Yep. He's, okay, this probably need a smaller circle for that one, but that is the 3-item spike that we talk about for Nuclear. If you play, you know, you've seen a Pikachu with a cool hat like that, does a lot of extra damage.
Yeah. This is with the next 2 minutes and 13 seconds. They're going to be looking to end the game. They just need one pick.
Yep. Inhibitor turret goes down on the top side of the map, and they're just trying to bleed them out. It is going to be a necessary fight for Lowkey. They have to find something now, otherwise they're just going to lose everything in quick succession. DAMWON have them spread so far as there's the last breath. They jump on Nuclear, but over the wall he goes. Canyon now dives onto Artifact, and Nuguri in the backline doesn't even have to press his ultimate button yet.
He still has it.
Just kiting 5 members of Lowkey around their own base. ShowMaker gets in there and finally pulls the trigger. 2 kills, no, only 1. Almost instantly, though, as DAMWON, they find the trigger and they press it hard. Triple kill instantly for the Akali in the front line, and DAMWON, they hold on and then just click their fingers and end Lowkey. Artifact still alive underneath his Nexus turrets, but these are Baroned up minions. It's 22.5 minutes into the game. Game 4, DAMWON make a statement, and they're looking to dive another fountain, but the Nexus isn't going to last long enough. Our first team promoted into the World's Group Stage is DAMWON Gaming.
And they do it with increasingly better gameplay. Lose the first one, struggle a bit in the second, but this 4th game was just 22 minutes and 43 seconds of absolute domination. Every lane was able to win. And then also they ended the game very swiftly.
Yeah, they did. I think this was finally a demonstration of what DAMWON is capable of. This is a demonstration of the team everyone was terrified of in the scrims. This is the squad that we've been waiting to see, and yeah, they had a bit of fun during the play-in group stage. They had a bit of fun earlier on in this series, but when it came down to the brass tacks, when it came down to needing to win this game and showing exactly who they were as a team, like, it's undeniable. They're terrifying.
And Lowkey Esports, even though they have defeat, they do take their region's first victory over the LCK.
Yeah.
They accomplished that in game 1. So obviously a little bit disappointed, but they'll get
And
it.
also their early games in the first couple of
DAMWON
games
needs to
were
work on
fantastic.
the high-five lines as well. I remember seeing a really endearing picture, actually, the first day when they were in the high-five line, because that's not something that happens in the LCK.
Nope.
Just really awesome. But then when they're done, they just walk right in front of the camera.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fine.
I actually like it. You know, they just get more time on stage, and
Yeah.
theoretically, if we leaned forward, we might be able to.
Maybe that's what they were going for this series, just maximizing time
If only
on
they
stage
had
and
walked back
practice.
here, then we could have got some high fives as well. But it's not about us; it's about them, and they were successful in making their way towards the group stage. And also, I mean, this is so huge because Korea never been in the play-in stage before, and we want to make a statement and make sure that we can say that, look, we are a cut above, and I think DAMWON have demonstrated that so far in the play-in stage. So good to see. For them.
And every player kind of had some of their down moments and some of their up moments. Like Nuclear's first day, he looked awful. You saw memes getting posted online about how there was 2v5 and Nuclear was doing nothing.
Yep.
And then I think on day 4 of the group stage, he played much better. And in this game in particular, right?
Yeah.
Him and BeryL together actually looked extremely well.
His Featherstorm timings were fantastic this game, and I think better than a lot of what we've seen from Nuclear in the past. As we have a look at a replay, this is another example of Nuclear being good. That flash timing, stunning.
Yeah, also having the feathers on the ground so they could lock Venus in here. It was a poor dive by Lowkey. They would have wanted to have DNK here much earlier, but the fact that with everything that was happening top lane, for them to be able to get a 2-for-1 on the 4-man dive, and then as DNK is coming in for the gank, just sidestepping the body slam, getting the kill, ring around the rosy on DNK.
Just crazy. And holding onto that barrel. I mean, I don't think Venus actually pressed the I'm going to explode my Q button. And a little bit of a disaster there. That does help slow down your opponent.
Yeah.
So a little bit of a whoopsie. But otherwise, just fantastic play from the bottom lane from DAMWON. The lane that we were waiting for to perform.
Yeah. I also think ShowMaker was probably the player who had the fewest mistakes throughout the whole series. Even in game 1, he's actually going to be our Oppo player of the series. Get some pro view action, I believe. Look at how much. That's one thing that's sometimes disorienting about watching pros is how much they're looking at the minimap versus how much they're actually looking on screen, and how quickly he made it over here in that final Akali fight.
My favorite part was that he saw Nuguri dealing with 2 people and immediately panned his screen up. He's like, well, I don't need to deal with that. That's fine. That's going to take care of itself. And I'm going to take care of my bottom lane that is now struggling with the rest of the team. So really cool to see the coordination from those guys. But let's hear what Nuclear has to say after making it to the group stage.
Thank you very much, guys. And congrats, Nuclear, for making it to the group stage. Tell me about the pride of representing Korea alongside SKT and Griffin.
네, 정말 축하드립니다. 이제 그룹 스테이지 진출하셨는데 SKT 그리핀과 함께 한국을 대표하는 게 얼마나 자랑스러우신지 말씀해 주세요.
저희가 이번 연도에 새로 올라와서 이제 바로 롤드컵 올라와가지고 그런 SKT랑 그리핀 같이 강한 팀이랑 같이 롤드컵을 할 수 있다는 게 되게 기쁘고 영광으로 되게 생각하고 있어요.
So we newly joined the LCK this year. So to be at Worlds playing with SKT Griffin, such a great team, it's really exciting, and also I'm so really proud and honored.
How do you think you compare to Griffin and SKT right now?
그러면 그리핀, SKT와 담원을 비교하자면
비교하기 어려울 정도로 세 팀 다 이렇게 각자 다른 매력을 가지고 있는 것 같고 저희가 가장 자신 있는 건 볼 때 가장 재미있는 경기를 할 수 있다는 거, 그게 가장 큰 장점인 것 같아요.
So it's really hard to compare. We all have different colors and charming points, but I can say that our strongest point is that our game is the most exciting and entertaining to watch.
All right, well, we'll see that against the other teams in the group stage. Now, did you expect Lowkey to challenge you so much today?
그러면 오늘 사실 로우키가 많이 힘들겠는데 어느 정도 예상은 하셨는지?
저희가 사실 이제 3대 0을 예상을 하고 왔었는데 첫 판에 이제 너무 다 같이 못해가지고 피드백을 빡세게 하고 나서 그 다음에 정신 차리고 이제 두 번째부터는 그나마 조금 더 수월하게 진행됐던 것 같아요.
So we were actually expecting 3-0, but all of 5 players were underperforming in game number 1, so we had a lot of feedbacks, and we were back in game for game number 2, and things got a lot easier after then.
Yeah, you keep on saying this every time we have an interview that you feel weaker than you should. Do you think that some of your weaknesses were exposed today?
그러면 이제 인터뷰 하실 때마다 사실 기대한 만큼의 경기력이 안 나왔다고 하시는데 그런 점이 어느 정도 약점이라고 보시나요?
지금 이제 약점이라기보다 그냥 보완해야 할 하나의 숙제 그런 정도로 생각하고 있어요.
So not like a weakness, but one of the homeworks that we have to work on.
And how do you think it's going to go in the group stage?
그룹 스테이지는 어떻게 진행될 것 같은가요?
저희 그 코치님이 그룹 스테이지를 못 가면 롤드컵을 간 게 아니라는 그런 얘기를 했었어서 어떻게 진행될지는 아무도 지금 예상을 못할 것 같아요. 일단 조추첨부터 해야 되고 또 조추첨이 끝나고 나서 이제 어느 정도 조금 예상이 될 것 같아요.
So actually, our coach told us that if you're not at group stage, you're not at Worlds. So I cannot make expectations yet. I think we have to wait and watch the draw show, and after that, maybe we can start organizing.
All right, well, we'll be looking forward to seeing you. Thank you very much, Jason, for the interview, and congrats once again for reaching group stage. Now we're gonna take a break, and coming back, it's gonna be Clutch Gaming versus Royal Youth.
Might see a dive bottom here, level 6 Yasuo.
Yep, Artifact, they know that he's there, but immediately you've got the exhaust. Venus taken down, Q's being traded, both of them being missed. E lands there as ShowMaker dives on forward onto Artifact, sets up his own knockup. Q is going to land, and immediately everyone is eviscerated. 5 members of Lowkey
still got it.
their own base. ShowMaker gets in there and finally pulls the trigger. 2 kills, no, only 1. Almost instantly though as DAMWON, they find the trigger and they press it hard. Triple kill instantly for the Akali in the front line, and DAMWON, they hold on and then just click their fingers and end Lowkey.